Welcome everybody to the Comedy Pop-Up Podcast. If you'd like to catch one of our live shows, our next live show is June 5th at Malo in Silver Lake. For more information on this show or any of our future live shows, please check out our website, comedypopupla.com. All right, let's start the show.
Hey, what's up, party people? This is comedian Ron G, and welcome to another amazing episode of the Comedy Pop-Up Podcast. We got a great show for you today. Paul, how you doing, sir?
I'm chilling, man. I had my mic muted because of this sewer cleaning happening in back of us.
I don't know if you can hear it in the back, but it sounds like somebody blowing leaves or something.
If
really
they
loud.
can't, then I did my job.
Right.
Yeah.
I hope you did. I hope you used a filter or something sexy to cover that up so we can keep the show looking amazing, sounding amazing. All right, cool. That being said, man, I got two special guests in the house. I'm excited about talking to both of them. We've been having some conversation about race in the NFL and stuff like that. I'm pretty excited. I hope it bleeds over. We'll see what happens. Anyway, coming to the stage in the microphone, he's actually from Long Island. Very outspoken fella, and he has a This Is Not Happening coming up on Comedy Central. Very excited about that. Ladies and gentlemen, show some love for Thomas Dale.
Oh, thank you.
Paul, you on point with the claps. I appreciate it. Paul is normally offering these claps, man. But
That's fine, actually, because I actually started coming up on stage asking the host to tell the audience not to applaud. That's my thing. I started to say, I don't want the applause until the end. Let me show you why you're applauding. Let me earn. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. And I tell them, and it's silent when I come up. Some people do it out of habit because they can't not unteach themselves. And I tell them, the host says, Thomas asks for you not to applaud. And Thomas Dale, and I come up. And
I like the fact that you have no filter and no rules, and you break every standard and rule that's in front of you.
I can't stand it.
Because even you saying that in my head, I'm trying to practice not clapping when the comic comes to the stage.
Right.
But I'm so conditioned to do it, that would be weird as heck.
Yeah,
I've seen it live, and the audiences are like, some people clap accidentally. They can't stop
We're so conditioned to do that. Also, in the studio, man, this guy has all the credits. He was on season 11 of America's Got Talent. He was on Conan twice, which is freaking amazing. He won the Laughs Festival in Montreal, correct?
Yeah, I won Homegrown at Just for Laughs. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Also, he won. He was nominated for a Juno Award for Comedy Album of the Year, or you won the Juno?
Nominated, yeah. Which doesn't mean anything in America, but I appreciate you mentioning it.
I have to say this. All right, he's also was in Stand Up for Diversity with NBC, which I think is dope. And he was on a tour called Here to Here Comedy Tour, which is amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, show some love for DJ Demers. Hey,
I'll take the clap.
You pointed like we can see
have
you.
all my claps, baby.
Right. So, and your name is DJ. You're not a DJ.
That's right. No, a lot of people are very disappointed when they think there's going to be a DJ coming.
Right? And DJ, is it on your driver's license?
Donald James is what it stands for. I got the same initials as the wonderful president.
Donald James. The Donald. All right, don't bring that up. You make my face hot.
Yeah.
Get pissed off. Get pissed off thinking about it. Actually, we were talking about today, I think they decided in the NFL they were going to penalize a team 15 yards
It's ridiculous.
for kneeling for the national anthem.
Oh, wow. So they even hit him where it hurt.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, if it was like money, most of them don't really, they're like, screw it, take it away. But 15 yards, they're trying to go at them personally for the game.
Absolutely. I don't want to misquote, but yeah, man, that's like literally silencing the voice.
Wow.
Because the protest was only about the racial injustice between police brutality and just what's going on in America.
Which exists. And that's it.
It's a
it
thing.
exists, yeah. So it's
but
like,
again, if you're privileged, you don't even know it's there.
Of course not.
And so to silence the voice, because I feel like in every professional athletic sport, there's been some form of protest. But for some reason, kneeling for the flag is the most disrespectful thing ever, which is not even about the flag. It's not about our troops. It's not about this patriotism, this fake patriotism that they're doing.
Yeah.
It's literally about police brutality. Unarmed black men getting killed.
And they're just asking for
by police and asking to be heard as a form of expression. Muhammad Ali did it. They did it in the Olympics with the Black Panthers with the fist up. It's been done so many times, but for some reason the NFL has this thing about kneeling, and I'm sure there's some angry, tight booty white folks right now listening that's mad about me even talking about this.
Bill, let me talk about it then, okay?
Go
As
ahead,
a white person, okay? The problem here is that white people need to feel like they have to say something about everything. Or let's just say humans. Humans feel like they need to say something about everything. Currently in this situation, white people feel like they need to have an opinion on this when you don't. Like, it's just that clear. You don't have to have an opinion on this. Why? Because you're not a black person in America who feels there's an issue. Black people are not saying we hate cops. First of all, I have an issue with cops, okay? I don't love cops at this moment because I grew up around cops. My dad is an ex-NYPD. I grew up around his friends. I know the racism that exists because I heard it at the dinner table, okay? So it does exist. And if you can't see that clear, look at the white kids who shoot schools and still are alive. And then a black kid who maybe has a gun or the cop feels his life is in danger.
Or selling loose cigarettes.
Yeah, or also let's remember this too. This whole cops' lives matter and cops' lives are in danger. Yes, that's why they're heroes. They choose to give their life for others, so that makes them a hero. You don't get to be scared you're going to lose your life. Yeah, don't be a cop then. Be, like I said earlier, be a pharmacist. Go be, I was going to say be a teacher, but they might lose their life too now, so you can't that. But don't be a cop if you're afraid to die. Firefighters they are heroes.
You can work at Quiznos. You can be a manager at Quiznos and not die.
And not die. And
you can make sandwiches and not have to protect and serve.
Go be a banker and be behind the glass.
You have to serve, but you can't protect if you work at Quiznos.
You got to serve.
Serve sandwiches.
I've been to Quiznos. I don't know if that's service, but anyway.
Right. But it's very unfortunate to live in a world where you don't feel heard, man. Like, for me, this is just very hurtful because, again, it's only about racial injustice and all these disparities with police brutality and the black community, and that's all it's about. But again, if you shift the narrative and make it sound wrong, then it becomes law for everybody else who's misinformed.
Well, because the fight,
and it doesn't affect you, which is the thing,
right? Well, the fight on the other side is just respect the cops. That's what they say. That's what I know that my family, white people will say. They'll say, just respect. If you would just respect if you just keep your mouth shut. No, see, that's the problem. That's the slippery road we're going down is this whole, I have to be subordinate to you. No. Let's remember, they are working for us. They are there to protect us. If you,
I wonder how you get paid.
Right, exactly. You get paid through the taxes. You are there to protect
all right.
us.
So I pay you to harass me.
Exactly. Or not even, but this whole you have to respect my authority. No, that is a problem. That is like third world shit.
That's fat kid syndrome. I have a gun now and I wasn't hurt my entire life. So I want to be a cop and harass people and demand respect.
Right. To an old grandma driving her car. And yeah, you know what? She might have got lippy, but fuck you. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you don't get to rip me out of my car because you didn't like my tone. I can't get with that. And if you are with that, we just can't see eye to eye, and that's fine with me.
But school teachers get cursed out every single day, and they go back to work.
Kids.
They don't kill kids because they're getting cursed out.
Exactly.
But a cop can't handle being cursed out.
So he snaps.
Because his pride is attacked, and you take somebody's life because of, you kick them in the head, you put your knee on somebody's throat while you already got them in handcuffs. And I feel like that's so wrong and inconsiderate. So even with the NFL saying don't protest, you're silencing the people that's hurt. I feel like the NFL has such a great opportunity right now to be a part of something that's so big, and what the legacy of the NFL will be so amazing. The NFL does it. The NBA does it, where they give the players an opportunity to speak their mind, wear protest shirts or whatever. But the NFL is just so different, and I'm actually literally cool. Like, at this moment, I'm cool. I love the Falcons and I love the Steelers. The Steelers remind me of my dad because he's a Steelers fan, and I don't have to watch the NFL anymore. I won't buy a hat again. I won't buy any clothes. And I'm so good.
I stopped watching last season after the way they treated Kaepernick, and it was easy. I was like, fuck the NFL, I'm done. And I used to love football, man. It's the way...
It's part of American culture.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
and the thing that pisses me off the most about it is when people, and as comedians we get this too, where people are like, oh, you're an athlete or you're a comedian, stay in your lane. It's like the people you're telling to stay in their lane here, so many African Americans that play in football came up in situations of extreme poverty and dealt with all this bullshit and are still dealing with it right now despite their money. And, it's the same thing we hear all the time. It doesn't matter, the old Kanye lyric, even if you're in a band, you still in a group.
Right.
It's so these people
I said it in my head when you said that just now. I said it in my head.
I know. All right, cool. But they didn't escape it. They're still trying to fight for these things for themselves and for the people who haven't left that situation. So why are we trying to silence them? Like you said, the NFL has they have a huge podium to make a big change, but the rich white owners don't want that.
But
change
I think
to
they
happen.
don't realize the impact they literally have on the culture. Like, I do a lot of career days, and almost every young black kid that I talk to in a career day at any school in any age wants to be in the NFL or the NBA. And the fact that you want to go there, you come from poverty, you go there, you make a successful career, and you don't really realize that they don't even have your back.
Right.
So they'll silence you for protest. And this is the thing. They even came out about the lawsuit with the PTSD. I forgot what it's called.
CTE?
CTE, yeah. And so now the NFL actually screens the people who have dementia and all these other illnesses at an early age and decide whether you should get money for your illness. For you. And I'm like, you spend your whole life as a kid wanting to make this thing. You find out your voice is silenced, and this bill, this huge bill that comes from your injuries comes after your career is over, and you have to pay. Like, I don't know if y'all seen the
I don't know.
the ESPN 30 for 30. They did one called Broke, and basically 70% of all NFL players retire broke.
Yeah,
70%. And a lot of their money goes to health, and like all the injuries after
They
the
have
fact.
the worst pension plan of the 4 major sports, even though they deal with the worst injuries.
To be honest with you, because I'm not a sports fan, I think that that football, it being an American thing, whatever, like pastime, is ridiculous. Anyway, to be honest with you, I think
I agree.
Like, things are cultural. It's not standard, but just
it should. It's a violent game anyway, and
It's very violent, but we like violence.
Yeah, I know.
This
but
country was taken like
that's the part of the problem in our country is we
country was taken by violence.
Right.
It wasn't just a Kaepernick thing that made me stop watching. It's also they actively have been trying to silence science for the last 20 years.
Of course,
when the CTE findings came out, the NFL, now they act like, yeah, we're doing everything we can. They were paying millions of dollars to silence all these people who were saying, listen, everybody's brains are scrambled when they leave your league. And they were like, shut the hell up. They published fake news articles in science magazines, credible journals. So the NFL, they're a bunch of fucking gangsters, man.
Rich. It all goes down to the grid. Look at what they did to what's his name who came out of the closet and
Michael Sam.
Michael Sam. Yeah. I mean, this angel was such a sweetheart.
He's not even playing anymore, right?
No. And it's just right away they start picking up. Well, he ain't even good, and this and that. Why is he got to be? It's like, wow. You think? Let me tell you. Let me wake your mind up. You think that he was the only homosexual on the thing? They say like that. They're like 20% of human beings are homosexual, not just bisexual or fluid, actual homosexual. So you're gonna tell me in all of those players, he's the one? You wake up, people, wake up.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna die in your sleep.
But America is made up of so many different things, and the thing that makes this country great is it. Even though it started out super wrong and bad for my people,
right?
I feel like America's dope because this is one of the few places on the planet where you can come here, you can be broke,
of course, and
then become a millionaire. By 20.
That's an issue too, though. That
I know,
capitalism,
but I'm saying it's possible. It's possible. I went to Thailand, and they don't even have an opportunity to become rich.
Of course, yes.
Like, and again, but that's what made and the diversity. You know what I'm saying? Like, just getting rid of Taco Tuesdays would piss me off.
Yeah.
Like, and you want these people to go back to their country? Like, why would you say that? They were born here on American soil.
Of course.
And to do that with no consideration, like, this is why America is great because of the diversity. Because
that's
you can go to New York and go to, Chinatown. You can go to L.A. You go to certain
you don't want to go to Chinatown.
I'm saying, but like, you can go there and try and have some of the best food ever. And you can go to certain parts of L.A. and have the best Mexican food ever. And like,
you
go to the
Vegas,
South and get soul food. And like, this is what makes it. But I feel like some people feel entitled, like, the country's supposed to look like one particular thing. And again, like, you in the NFL discriminating against gay people, even Tim Tebow, he professed his faith, didn't do anything to anybody, no crimes.
He is such a homosexual. That boy is a gay
Whether
man.
he is or not doesn't even matter.
He is.
But I'm saying, like, he lost his career because he didn't fit the stereotype of what an NFL player is supposed to be. I just feel like it's so wrong.
You think Tebow was because of discrimination?
That's a part of it. He wasn't a bad player. He was winning games, but it wasn't unorthodox. Like, his arm wasn't like he wasn't a standard quarterback that stood in the pocket. He ran, which is dangerous. And for some reason, particularly with black NFL quarterbacks, if you run, it's not standard. It's frowned upon by people who've done it in a certain kind of way. And again, black players are athletic, and that's their gift. Michael Vick was one of the most the dopest quarterbacks ever. That's what it is. But because his style was a little different, and the thing with the dogs too, which I think was completely wrong. I'm saying the dogs.
Oh,
he got in trouble for fighting dogs.
Of course.
I'm saying, but his style, he always got critiqued and criticized because he ran as a quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
And then you had other quarterbacks coming after who didn't want to face that criticism. So guys like McNabb, who could run, were like, no, I'm a guy who stays in the pocket. It's like, it's fine, man. That's a gift. Use it.
Right.
But the Tebow thing, he had a pretty crappy arm, man. Like, I've never even thought about the fact that he
but he
faced
won
discrimination.
games. I get you. Completely
he went to the playoffs. He won.
He didn't have the best arm. Completely understand that, but he won games. That's all I'm saying.
Just you want
so you think his religiousness is what hurt him?
He kneeled in the corner and he professed his faith and said, "God, like, some people don't like that."
Yeah,
But don't you feel like people?
There's a lot to do. Like he really
lot
got
do like
scrutinized.
that.
Like you would have thought he was a black quarterback. The way he got scrutinized.
Yeah,
Because
telling you.
again, if you win games and it's ugly, whatever. But
you should get at least another shot at it.
Right.
Like he
that
was-
wasn't what they talked about in the interviews.
Exactly, right. That's the issue with our country is that we focus on the wrong things.
Even think about Kaepernick. When's the last time
Right.
you heard Kaepernick do an interview?
Right.
No.
They talk about it. It's a talking point.
Right.
But they don't interview him to find out what he really
Right.
meant. And that's the thing on purpose. They do that on purpose. To
And
make
let me
sure
tell you,
it happens.
that's a hero because he put his reputation on the line.
and millions upon millions of dollars.
And he's going down in the history
exactly,
books.
yes, and he should, and he would get the hate, and he would get the hate, and it's just it's just I know people at home who would write I stand for the national anthem, and I'm like, you never gave a shit about the national anthem. Can you just say I'm racist? Can you just wear the shirt that says I'm racist a little
And
bit?
you only do it when you go to a game that you paid for.
Right.
To kneel for the anthem.
And it's just ridiculous. No one cared about the anthem. It was you were getting popcorn and hot dogs during the anthem. Stop it. Just keep it real. That's all I ask. I would respect racists if they would just say, I don't get their struggle, so I'm going to. Here's the thing. Also, you don't have to be racist to not get it. I can understand you because racists think that because
Good people
they
think
don't.
they're not racist.
What?
Good people
Right,
think they're
exactly
not
right.
racist
Because they
in
think
America.
that just because they don't hate black people, that they're not racist. They don't realize that they're like, well, it's like they can't accept that they don't understand the struggle, so they have to be against it.
That requires doing work. And who wants to do
Exactly
work?
right. It's laziness. It's ignorance. It's
Yeah.
ignorance, and there are ignorant people in every every culture. I think we need to come together as humans and realize that every race, every sexuality, has ignorant people, and we can't be defending the ignorance. That's the problem. Is that I think good people are being thrown to the dark side because they don't know where to go. They don't know where to fit.
Right. If you speak out against ignorance,
Right,
then
right.
you're part of the problem too. And then
Exactly,
you can
right.
lose your job, and you can take care of your
Exactly,
family, and
yes.
it's a thing too. Which brings me to a great starting point for this podcast, man. Both of you guys, I'm glad they paired you up and had you come in here because you mentioned earlier that you are.
What?
Did you say you were
You could say the word.
gay? I just want to make sure. I don't want to announce it if you didn't.
No,
say
but
it.
I
It's not
want
my-
I want to work you through. I want
I
straight
don't
people
mind.
to be. No. I didn't ask if you minded.
Yeah.
But see, this is my struggle too. Now here we go.
You didn't say it before we introduced. I don't want to introduce you as the gay comic. Like
No,
that's
no,
not
no,
my
no,
thing.
no. But if you can say the word, you could say you gay.
But I didn't want. You didn't say it on the mic, so I personally don't want to introduce you as the gay
But
comic. That's not my job.
I'm not a gay comic. I am gay. But you
Right.
can say, "Are you gay?"
Okay, but
You've seen me on stage. You know I talk about it. I'm very.
I just
vocal.
found out you were gay.
Really?
I didn't know, like before that. So I'm
Oh.
like, why would I just?
Okay, well, for the future, you can even ask a straight person if they're gay. That's one of my issues with, and it's okay. Just accept it. It's okay.
Got you. All right.
My
in my
issue is-
community, it's not that easy.
I
But
know,
okay.
and that's a
Completely
problem,
understand.
and
Yeah.
that's a problem,
Yeah.
and we need to address that, and we need to work through that, and that's
Yeah.
why I'm here on this earth.
But it's just me, so you need to see the rest of the community and talk to them. Too
Oh,
as well.
baby,
Anyway,
I will.
Go ahead.
Okay,
Go ahead.
My point is you can say to a straight person, "Are you gay?" without it being an insult, and that's the problem we are in right now for my people. Okay, I don't even like to say my people because we're humans, but for gay people, straight people it's hard for them to ask someone, "Oh, you gay?" because straight people, they turn their face up like they just ate some shit, and that's a problem. So let's just, that's why I said I could have just said yes, I'm gay, but I wanted you to just say it. So now next time, if you think someone's in the closet, that's on them. You could ask them if they're gay.
But this is a open forum, and this is this going out to a lot of people. It's not my job to announce that for you.
But no, it's not. It shouldn't be looked at as an announcement anymore. It should be a question.
Completely understand.
Yes, and
But
that's
this
it.
is on the other side. So you're telling
Right.
me what I should do.
Yeah.
But again, in my community and
Right.
how I was raised.
Yeah.
In the
So I'm
black
correcting
community,
that for you.
If
How-
I
yeah.
say that in the black community, I can get beat up just
and
by
that's a
even saying
problem.
that.
Yeah, and you should.
Completely
exactly.
understand. So for you to undo that with one conversation, telling me what I should do,
I gotta
I'm
do
being
one
sensitive
conversation at
because
a
I want to
time.
be respectful because it might be
Yeah.
something that you don't want people to know.
That's on me, and that's on the gay. This closet shit is bullshit to me. I'm not a person who goes. If someone comes to me and says I'm gay, please don't tell anyone. Then I won't tell someone. But I'm not going to enable the closet.
Okay.
I'm not going to walk around. If I want to say, TJ, are you gay? And he gets offended, I'm going to be like, well, now you're offending me for being offended. So you need to work on that.
But just hear me out.
Yeah.
For this podcast,
Yeah.
I'm not the person who's poking and trying to get a reaction.
Right, but
I'm not that
right.
guy. So again, out of respect, and you didn't say it on air.
Right.
I'm just saying I wanted to make sure I was clear before I even mentioned it.
Right, but I want you to understand that it's not a poking around thing. It should just be it should be like a
Should. You're saying should. A lot
Right.
of should.
Yeah.
But again, I come with my own background and
Right.
my own baggage.
So
and
I'm
do too.
telling you, and I'm
Yeah.
just letting you know, as a gay person,
Right.
that we would appreciate if you just act as if it's a regular, normal
But
question.
all gay people aren't the same. So as
Of course.
much as you're saying
I'm telling you, Thomas
We appreciate
Dale
it.
is
There you go.
telling
There you go. All right.
that next time you come across someone that you would like to know if they're gay or not,
Yeah.
I'm asking you as a gay person that whether you respect me or not, I'm telling you that if you do that, you're going to insult them more than if you don't. It's just like when
I don't
white
have to
people-
ask. I don't like either way. It's not my fault or my duty to like. I don't care. Like it doesn't matter.
I don't
if
think
gay
you're
or not.
understanding. Well, then you shouldn't have asked if you didn't care.
No, but my point. I'm setting up because
See, we're having a thing right now that you probably have had with white people. So
Right.
where they didn't understand your culture. So
Okay.
so what would you have done in that situation? Would you have wished that the white person just listened to you and said, you know what, this person probably knows more?
Absolutely.
So that's what I'm asking you to do.
absolutely. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not discrediting that you know. Of course, you know better. Like this lifestyle is your
Yeah.
lifestyle. But I'm saying I'm only setting this up because I want him to mention because he's here. Is it hearing impaired? Am I saying it right?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. Cool.
I'm just kidding.
right.
I'm just saying, it's okay. All I'm telling you,
It's okay.
To
You're
say,
absolutely right.
ask someone if they're gay. That's it. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't have to
Okay.
be a thing. It doesn't. I'm just
Okay.
saying, all
But
I'm saying
again, some
is-
people do that only on
But
the radio.
that's
Like
on
they would
them.
never say it in personal life.
That's
and
so-
I've
but that's
seen
awful.
People that host radio shows like only ask questions on air that you would never ask the person off air
Right.
for a reaction.
I'm offended by how
But I'm
easy it
saying-
was for you to call me hearing impaired. You know what I mean? No
What I'm
delay.
saying is,
I don't know
I
what's
want
the
to,
correct term? What's the correct term?
I don't actually care, but hard of hearing
Yeah.
is what they say.
So he's hard of hearing. So
Right.
again, my
I don't
only
give a
point for
shit
even
either
bring
way.
that up was we all here have a thing in comedy which actually makes us dope.
Right.
Me being a black comic from the South, I got a sensitivity toward racism and stuff like that. You being a gay guy from New York City and being very outspoken and coming
Yeah.
to LA to a place where, again, you meet somebody like me that's very ignorant about gay culture.
Right, totally.
And so we're having this dialogue right now
Yeah, yeah.
as it's
And it's
happening.
beautiful.
And you being hard of hearing and being from Canada, another country, and hearing us talk about racism and all this
Right.
stuff of not having a voice, all this stuff makes us dope in comedy, which is the only reason I
Exactly.
brought it up.
Yeah.
But
And-
thank you for the lesson.
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
meantime.
Yeah.
And I
it's
appreciate
beautiful.
it.
And I hope it carries on next time you have to, you're in the situation where you need to
and
ask a
and
person
again,
if
like
they're gay
I
or
don't
not.
judge. I have
Yeah.
a strict no judgment policy either way. I could care less.
I don't
but
even care,
I
yeah.
do what I like learning more about
Yeah.
things that are not like me.
Yeah,
'Cause
exactly.
again, like as a comedian, it's
Totally.
our job to study things and learn in order to be great at it. Because when something happens
100%.
on stage, I don't want to be in the clue, like in the dark, like what the heck just happened? You know what I'm saying?
Dude,
But
my
thank you for
father-
checking
yeah,
me, too.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And that's, me, that's part of what I do in
Yeah.
life. Like my dad just, after like 15 years of me being out of the closet, I came out when I was 17. My dad just said boyfriend. Said, I think it's time for you to have a boyfriend. And I've had boyfriends. He just was able to say it
That's
now.
hilarious.
So that's why.
And you're Italian too, right?
I'm
Can I say Italian?
Yeah.
Is it okay to say Italian? 'Cause I know you got things about things. All right, it's okay to say
No,
Italian.
see, the thing is, I don't have things about things. All I said to you was, in the future, whether you're on air, whether you're on TV, whether you're in the street, whether you're on the bus, if you're in a position where the question is, are you gay? Just say it. That's all I'm saying.
I'm going to be devil's advocate and
And if the
interject. And
person-
you were saying from your experience, you could get beat up for
and
saying,
that's
"Are
wrong,
you
though.
gay?"
Be braver is
Yeah.
all I'm asking for you. That's all I'm asking.
As a pussy myself, I don't condone bravery in all
I would take
situations.
the route of least.
I'm not calling you a pussy.
Again, you're
by
talking
the way.
about my whole entire.
Right, but that's a problem. And
Just hear me out.
go ahead.
I know it's a problem. It's
Yeah.
easy to put a word on it.
Right.
But again, I'm talking about my entire life. You asking me to change my entire life and my vantage point to like not if I feel somebody's gay just to ask them.
Yeah.
In black culture, you don't do that.
I know. I've seen
You
it. I've
just
been
don't
around
do
it,
that.
and
So
I do it.
to say that's the problem, that's what it is. Like that's not going to change in one conversation. I'm
Of
just a
course.
respectful person.
Just like the
And
conversation we had about race isn't going to change in this one conversation, but we're still going to have
right.
it.
And you and
yeah.
I aren't the problem. We're
Right,
talking
exactly.
about people that's
Yeah,
the problem.
totally.
So get what you're saying.
Exactly.
All right. Anyway, the point is, I'm saying all that. In comedy, you have to find a way to maneuver through the BS of what mainstream and what the should is, and learn how to find your is. Has that always been a challenge, and like it's just been a thing in your personal life, and so comedy gives you more of a platform to do that?
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
just bleeding over to your career now.
yeah, I don't know, man. I'm like a fucking, I'm a middle class white dude from Canada who sometimes I feel like I don't have enough like.
What city?
angst
Just
in-
curious.
Toronto.
Okay.
Yeah,
got you.
I didn't grow up in Toronto, but I spent like 7 years. there.
Edmonton.
Say?
Are you from Edmonton?
No, I'm from a place called Kitchener, like an hour outside Toronto.
Kitchen
Oh
what?
my God, Kitchener.
Kitchener,
I performed
it's like
there.
Never heard
Ontario.
of that.
It's just like an hour away from Toronto. You don't need to hear about it.
Okay,
It's
cool.
fine.
All right.
It's a cute little place.
Yeah, it's
cute.
all right.
That's cute.
Yeah. But like how you feel about New York? We were talking off air. I don't like my hometown very much. I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah,
you're
yeah.
supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like I'm always just actually Thomas and I have had great conversations about kind of where material comes from because I had a joke that I did on my first Conan appearance and America's Got Talent actually about where I say me and my partner, and the whole point of the joke for me was I wanted people
Yes,
to
I
wonder if I
remember
was
that.
gay or not because my dad was always kind of. If my dad would have found out I was gay, he would not have been happy. It would have been a bad thing in my household. So when I first wrote that joke, I was like, oh, this will be cool because the whole point is it doesn't matter. And I left people wondering. And my intention was like, this is cool to break down that stigma. Like the whole thing about you saying like, if you even ask, are you gay? That could get you beat up.
Absolutely.
That was my thing where I'm like, I'm going to have people be uncomfortable. Like, oh my God, is this guy gay? And that my heart was like in the right place. But I've talked to Thomas about it after where he felt as a gay
Because
man.
I thought he was gay.
Yeah, he
And
thought
then
I was.
I treated him as if. And then when I
Hilarious.
found out he
So-
didn't, I was like, that's a
and-
little gay baiting.
And I was okay with that idea of people thinking that because I was like, it doesn't matter. But I'd never thought of that perspective where it's actually kind of a malicious thing to
struggle.
do to men in the gay community. So yeah, I'm always just trying to like point out things
It's a
that seem
little blackface.
hypocritical.
It's blackfacey. It's like, oh, but you didn't mean it
Hilarious.
that way. You know, you didn't mean
And
it
Thomas
that way.
gonna tell you about yourself. FYI, if you don't know that, he's gonna tell you about yourself. So, are you still doing the joke? Are you still doing this
no, I don't do
insensitive
the joke anymore.
joke?
No.
Yeah.
What's
No,
that?
I said, are you still doing the joke?
No.
So he checked you and you stopped doing it.
Well, I was just done with it anyway.
Yeah,
you
he was
are-
done with it.
you
He
are
was on
a pussy.
TV.
He's a pussy.
And no, he was just
He's a
made, he was
pussy.
made aware.
Clearly.
He was made aware when some people are unaware, like with white people who are unaware. And that's the thing too about the black community and gay shit. I used, because it's funny because my father will be like, black people, they're such homophobia. He would try to get me because I'm always defending black people, and he'd be like, they're homophobic. They wouldn't defend you. And I said, yeah, but I'm not going to lower myself to their level because they can't defend gay shit. I'm going to still defend what's right or wrong. And I'm hoping that the black community will come around and bring themselves on a higher level with gay stuff.
Has the black community come around on that, or is it
they're
still a
getting
big
better.
taboo?
They're getting better.
Better?
Yes, it's
But
better.
again, we got so many years of generational trauma and other stuff that we're dealing with where that's another thing. Because again,
Well, they need a scapegoat too. And that's the problem.
but just also hear me out. Because if you notice this, we've been dealing with civil rights issues and how we've been getting handled by America for a long time. And honestly,
So
the LGBT movement has even surpassed that to where you guys are throwing ruining careers and throwing people in jail because of
No, we're not.
understanding. Yes, it is.
Who?
Like, if somebody
Women have done that, not us.
doesn't matter in general.
Well, who have we done that to?
I know comedians who said the wrong thing on stage and didn't have a career anymore.
Who?
I'm not saying it like
I don't know any, but
no, it's a
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
where again, if you mention I've seen people even do gay jokes and get banned out of Hollywood. Like it's a thing
Oh, I've never seen that.
because a part of it too is the lawyers and the power behind the legal system as well, and having the backing of the legal system and is ACLU whatever, where you go after people who've said things to the gay community and they don't have a career anymore. And for me, being a black man, having my own struggles, I feel like it's more of a teachable moment than let me punish you for saying the wrong thing. Because you and I had a teachable moment. You could have
Right,
smashed on me, be
totally.
like, "How?
Oh,
why
yeah,
not
no
ask
way,
me
I would
that?
never,
Whatever."
yeah.
But
Yeah.
again, you're a different type of gay
course,
person. Like you're not traditional gay person.
Right.
He's Long
Very
Island
outspoken.
gay.
Yeah, you're Long Island gay.
Yeah, totally.
But in general, some people are very fragile.
Of course.
And they're like, you respect me. And I'm like, I don't know you.
Those are
And
bitches, absolutely.
Again, in the black community, and I'm not
Yes.
speaking for all black people,
Right,
but
right.
again, there's a thing about just basic civil rights, human decency that we don't get. And you
Right.
have this other movement that comes in front of that, and you see progression happening, and we're still put on the back burner.
But can I say
Which is
something?
like the
of
NFL
course.
thing.
But the movement, here's the thing, because I actually feel the opposite way. I said, what happened to us? We were like having a little bit of some heat, and now they're actually trying to dangle gay marriage, take it back. Trump actually just took us off the census, so we don't even exist anymore. The census
Really?
when you say homosexual in your household, we don't even
Yeah.
exist, so we ain't even being counted anymore. And my point is that that we actually, I think, are being a little too quiet still because all we really want to, and the reason why it is different than black is because gay has all different types of races. So you have black gay people, you have white gay people, Spanish gay people. So it's like, it's not, and this movement thing, I think we have to stop with movements because then it creates defense. Then other people that aren't in the movement feel like they have to defend themselves. I think as humans, we just need to come. I've been posting saying y'all need to learn from gay people actually, because what happened was all we wanted to do was have the right to get married. We weren't allowed to even do the basic right. Okay. Now I'm not comparing it to y'all have slavery. That's a whole, and then you were put into ghettos and not given the same education. So y'all shit is there's a different type of struggle, right? So I don't compare it. My thing is we just wanted the right. So we got the right. And then we shut up. But the point is that there doesn't.
This is part of Hollywood too, though. Like
no. Everybody wants to say this whole thing. Let me tell you, straight boys be getting a lot of opportunities that I'm not getting because the gay casting director wants that motherfucker. Okay, straight women casting directors are giving straight men way more opportunities. I'm one of the best comics out here, and I ain't got shit. Okay,
that's not my point.
So my point is that it's not. It comes both ways. So if a comic says some dumb joke on stage that it's a gay joke and it's not funny and people just don't want to work with him because the motherfucker ain't funny, that's different. I have not seen any, like Louis lost his career, Aziz can't get up on stage. That shit has been, I don't know, the Duck Dynasty guys, they back on TV. So I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know personally. I don't know. If maybe you're talking about unfunny motherfuckers.
No,
I don't
I'm talking
know.
about a lot of powerful people in Hollywood are gay.
And they're in the closet.
No, it's professed. Like I've had showcases.
I don't know because I'm not getting I'm not reaping any of these benefits.
And
homie,
again, you're
I'm
also
good.
on the road.
No, I'm not. I'm here in town. I got $400. You gonna pay me today?
I do a thing across the board.
You got 2 TV shows coming out. You got 2 TV shows coming out because you cute and black. So that's
Hilarious.
good. So I'm just saying that trust me, it is not helping in Hollywood being gay. So I'm telling you from my side.
But again,
It is, homie. I'm telling you.
For you, and that's your journey. And
what gay people are on TV?
No,
They're
but my
straight
point was more
actors the
about there's a
roles.
lot of high profile, there's a lot of people that run Hollywood that are gay as well.
And they'll give you all
And
the
I'm saying for the people who do things that are like on social media that mention something that a derogatory word toward gay people or say a bad thing on stage, like their career's over because there's weight behind.
That's a strong
that.
statement. I don't know any of these people. If
I've
you can
seen
bring
it
me an
done.
example, then maybe
like
I can
most
talk
black,
to
even
you.
in the comedy club, even in comedy, I've seen somebody use the F word. They say faggot on stage. And then everybody shut down.
Good.
Right.
Because they should.
Right. Or I've had a showcase. I had a joke when I first moved out here because I'm from Atlanta, and there was a thing when I first moved out here, like people coming out the closet or whatever. And so I did a joke. It wasn't even offensive, but this lady was like, "Hey, listen, before you go on stage, don't do that joke."
That's
because all the people that's coming in, it wasn't even offensive.
Right. She was just trying to probably help. Well, I don't know the
But
joke.
all the people that were coming from the showcase were gay.
Well, can you send them to my showcase, please? Because I don't know I've got no opportunities because I'm gay.
Do you think being gay is hurting you, or you're like adversarial?
No,
nature?
I don't think anything's hurting me. I'm doing me, and my thing is I'm not pandering. Okay?
But it sounds like you feel like you're missing out on opportunity.
Yes, I am.
And you think it's just because of being
I
gay?
think that a lot of men stay in the closet in Hollywood because they know that if they are gay out, that they're going to be hurt. So that's a problem. Is that there's so many closeted actors. You're going to tell me acting, comics, and acting, the arts, that there aren't more gay people. Think about it. You could count the amount of gay comics on my hand. You're going to tell me that there are 5 of us. So this thing that the gay industry is hurting people. If you go on stage and say fag, or if you go on stage and say nigga, it's people aren't going to like you, and that's okay. But they're not ripping you down because you said even if the joke is good, buddy. I seen Theo Von says some funny ass jokes that are not. You don't have to be pro or against, but he says jokes that he says my brother was bit by a gay dude, so we're waiting. That's hilarious. It's a funny joke. So if you come with a funny, clever joke, they ain't gonna.
But again, there's a time for the environment where you couldn't even mention anything about gay on stage. Like there's a time.
Well,
and again, that's why I said that comes with power.
No,
I don't feel
that comes with social sensitivity. And I think people were seeing people like Matthew Shepard who were killed and beaten and laid on a post for being gay in the city, Manhattan still, where there was a gay kid who beaten and stabbed by a group of straight kids in Boston. That shit is all happening. So maybe that's why they were sensitive in the crowds.
And you're saying maybe, and I'm sitting there telling you from my vantage point and what I've seen is, again, like,
But I don't know. You haven't given me a real example yet, so I can't further
Of
the discussion.
what?
'cause you're
People's
saying-
careers being lost
Yeah, because you
because-
said I can't mention any names, so I don't know.
I wouldn't do that.
So then, okay, well then
There was a
you
time
can't-
where, again, Tracy Morgan, he said, you can take a dick, you can take a joke.
No, Tracy Morgan said he would stab his son to death if he came out of the closet. So now his career was not ruined.
that.
The people
Not
didn't
that.
like him
Not
after
that comment. It was before that.
What?
It was a period where he didn't work for a while because
But that was the
and it was a
comment.
big old thing. No, he said you can take a dick, but you can't take a joke. He said that.
He said that after.
No, this is before. This is like before his career came back and before he did Last OG and a bunch of other stuff. This is like in between.
He just did Last OG. That just happened. Okay.
I know, but there's a
So-
long period where he didn't. And again,
Right,
you
when
can
I
even see
was
in the
in,
media
yeah.
where they was like, no, he's not going to work. That's offensive or whatever. Like,
Yeah, because
it's a
he
long
said,
time.
and I wrote an article about that. So I'm telling you
Okay.
that I remember that.
Okay.
And he said, I would stab my kid to death if he came out of the closet. Now, here's the thing. And then afterwards, yes, there were little faggies in the audience that were like, nah, because I'm not about that life. Say what
Right.
you want to say, okay?
Right.
But then he said, you can take a dick, but you can't take a joke. He said that afterwards.
Right.
I remember it timeline.
And the
I
article
was-
only said that part.
Because the media does that shit.
Right.
So my point is that that's not gay people. That might have been one gay bitch in the audience who got pissed off about it. But Tracy Morgan did say it was some violent shit, and the audience was just like, "Yeah, we're not into that violent shit." But he's fine now.
But again,
that's
now-
their reaction.
But
to
during
it.
that time, when you have 5 occurrences like that,
It wasn't gay industry that was like you can't work again. It was the people speaking. They were like, "Ooh, you would kill you." We don't. That's
okay.
not cool.
Well, that's your opinion.
Yeah.
Again, you're on this side too. Like just
Yeah.
again, like you might see like, okay, black folks are taking off and doing all this great stuff in Hollywood, but there's a long time where we wasn't.
Of
You know what I'm
course,
saying? So
yeah.
you'd be like, oh, black people doing their thing, and like even me as a black person, I'm like,
Yeah, you just
I'm not
started
even getting
getting-
a look. Like
I
it just
got
started
you.
happening.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
I
saying? So
understand, yeah.
from your vantage point, you're like, oh man, it's cool to be black right now. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm saying get your just due, but
Yeah.
don't come at me saying that the gay industry is holding you down because I'm gonna tell you they're not.
No, I'm saying like there's this thing of if you mention, it's almost like the Me Too movement.
Right.
If you mention something about rape, I see comedians do rape jokes, and again, like even bringing it up right now, it's a problem.
I do Me Too jokes and it kills.
And you're gay.
No, it's because it's a good joke. And
Right,
and
but this
it's
is what I'm
clever.
saying.
It's
Something can be
smart.
because again, we're comedians. Our
Right.
line is different from
Yeah,
everybody
yeah, of
else's
course.
line.
You just have
but
to have
again,
good
you're talking people
jokes.
that's sensitive. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And listen, there's some girls in the audience that turn out, and I
Right.
make sure the joke is good enough so that the majority of the audience laughs and gets it, and then those
Yeah.
people who don't get it can maybe, hopefully, one of them.
But
can go
sometimes
home.
you don't know because you don't
Yeah,
find out
ooh, it's
until you
a
cross
risk.
the line until after you cross the line, and then you got to deal with that.
You know how many dude? You know how many Facebook statuses I've had to delete because of that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You're on Facebook. I have a general rule like I'm a big Kanye fan. I'm going to quote another Kanye lyric.
Hilarious.
Fucking up my money, so yeah, I had to act sane. On social media, I'm not saying anything remotely controversial because I'm just keeping enough to let
sorry.
people know I'm alive and then bring me out and I'll say shit on stage. But on social media, I don't go there.
Yeah.
Thomas Dale, your social media presence makes me nervous just to read it. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, how do you do
So
this?
question-
I'm like, I don't touch any of that shit. and
He
you
made
go
a
there.
valid point.
Right.
Like for me, again, when the lady told me that about don't do that joke, and again, I thought it was a great joke.
yeah,
I feel like
I'd
it
love
wasn't
to hear
offensive, but she told me that. I was like,
She was
in
probably just
Atlanta,
giving
there
you
was a gay
advice.
homeless man.
Yeah.
He was like, I'll work it for food. Like, it wasn't even offensive at all.
I'll
She was
work it
like,
for food. That's
I'll
great.
work, right, exactly.
Yeah.
But she was like, don't do it. To the point where, again, I just stopped doing anything remotely about gay because I didn't want to offend anybody.
Right, but see, you took what she said. She's
Hear
done.
me
yeah,
out.
yeah. But you took that and went
Hear
too
me
far.
out.
Go ahead.
But this is the stuff you have to learn. You don't have a filter. Now, could it be,
Right.
because you mentioned too, like,
Yeah.
because of the content you put out,
Right.
people are like, I don't want to take a chance on him
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he's a lawsuit waiting to happen based on his outspokenness.
Yeah, yeah. It
That
could be
affects your career.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but as much as you're saying they don't
Yeah.
want to hire you about being gay, it might not be about
No,
being
but
gay.
what I'm saying is I'm not reaping these benefits that you were discussing. That's all I'm saying. That even before
that wasn't my point about reaping benefits because you're gay.
right. But what I'm saying is even I'm saying you're saying that you're torn down. If that girl, what I'm saying is that woman said that to you.
Yeah.
that wasn't the best advice because maybe she was giving you advice saying the crowd is going to be sensitive and
it was
she's trying to say.
specifically the people coming to the showcase were gay. Don't
She
do that
said
joke.
the people there in the audience are gay.
Absolutely.
Y'all can't even say the word, and you're going
What?
to tell me that she said that they're gay.
Yes.
She said they're gay.
She said, yeah, a lot of the
being-
execs coming there are going to be gay.
Okay.
Don't do the joke.
I will
Then that's
say
stupid
when I
advice.
did
And
have
those execs are bitches.
when I did have the
And again, you're a very specific type of gay person that I haven't seen. Love it. I think it's dope. You remind me of somebody in my family. But I think in Hollywood, I don't
Right.
think it's always like, it's almost like the Kaepernick.
Yeah,
Kaepernick
no, I
is
feel you.
a certain type of black bro.
Yeah,
You're going to
yeah.
speak out about
Yeah.
injustice. Who do you think you are?
Yeah, yeah,
Let
I
me
feel
shut you
you.
down. You're
Yeah.
not going. You're
I
like you're
agree.
very. So
Yeah.
again, that could be a part of the career
Yeah.
thing too. Like it's not
I
about
feel you,
you
yeah.
being gay because
Yeah.
I can tell you're a dope comic and you don't give a crap. And I feel like
Yeah.
people like you change the world.
That's what I
like
wanted
Kaepernick,
to.
like you
Yeah,
change the world,
exactly, yeah.
you change the environment, you make people think past their
Yeah.
own comfortability, and then it might not happen how you want it to happen.
Right.
But when it does happen, it's gonna be special because
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
like you're a freaking pioneer.
Yeah, I
sometimes
agree.
you can be ahead of your time.
I
You might be
totally
going
agree.
through your Kaepernick stuff now, but you'll be Muhammad Ali by the time you're
100%
dead.
agree.
Absolutely, I agree with what you
know.
said.
I'm gonna have a nice year of eating good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be in the books. That's been my goal for my
Right.
whole life since I'm a child.
And you can't compromise.
Right.
That.
I can't. I won't.
can't.
But in the beginning of my career, like when I look at my Craig Ferguson set, my late night, I call it the Ferguson days. I was kind of tap dancing a little bit, not purposely, but because I didn't know better. Like I was finding
Right.
my voice,
Yeah.
and I look at all that, and I'm like, ooh, God, you would just, I was like, I was this funny gay person, and I've gotten realer. I think just now, 12 years in,
Yeah.
realer because of this business, and now I just the whole I don't give a fuck attitude has come
Yeah.
through it, and there's so much going on.
Did
in the
we
world.
do the comedy pop up show on was it Sunset upstairs?
I think so. Yeah,
I just saw you, right?
Yes, it was like in the
It was a brick
restaurant
wall.
upstairs.
The whole
Malo.
yeah, right. And I do
yes.
remember that set.
Exactly,
You
Silver
was
Lake?
making everybody uncomfortable. I
Yes,
remember that.
exactly. Yeah, because that's what
Heck
I.
yeah,
what-
that's funny.
Yeah, so that's that's what I want.
Yeah, I
to do.
got
So
you.
I appreciate that. To me, that's a compliment, and I appreciate.
No, it
that.
is
Yeah,
comedy.
yeah,
Again, like
absolutely, yeah.
sometimes again, it's like crockpot. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
gonna take a little longer, but when
Totally.
it does happen, it's
Yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
amazing.
I
Again, like
agree.
because of how outspoken, like you made everybody in the room uncomfortable.
100%.
And I thought it was dope.
And they loved it.
I know
Yeah,
comedians
yeah.
that like black comedians that like offend everybody. They do abortion jokes, and it's the most uncomfortable thing ever.
Yeah.
But the way they do it to me is brilliant in it
100.
because some people laugh, some people don't, but it's still necessary part of comedy. It's just what it is. You know
let
what
me
I'm
tell
saying?
We
you,
need
dude.
to talk about this stuff.
And I'm telling you, like with the black community, bro, black comics love me. Like I'm the first gay comic they ever like. They feel like, oh shit, I like this dude. This dude's funny.
I'll say you remind me of somebody in my family.
Exactly. Yeah. Like
Some
I go to
sassy
Ha-Ha,
black
bro,
woman
yeah.
with no filter,
Yeah.
like gonna curse you out.
Yeah, exactly.
I wish you would say something. Say it.
exactly.
Bring it.
Give me a reason.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you the exact change. So come with it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. yeah.
Right. I was gonna ask you, man. So you being from Canada, what's the difference in comedy in Canada versus LA? Because I know Toronto's very diverse, right?
It's very diverse, yeah.
And
It's a
LA
great-
is fake diverse. It is, but it's not.
Yeah.
What is the difference in comedy? And you started there, right?
I
you
started
start-
in Canada, in Toronto, yeah,
Okay.
and I've been here like a year and a half now.
Okay, cool.
But
All
I've been like touring around the States for a few years now. But I'd say the main difference is, well, on a career level, things actually happen here. Like you can
Right,
can be
right.
fucking killing it in Canada, nobody gives a shit, nothing's
Right.
happening. That's why we have to move down here essentially. But on a comedy level, I'd say the audiences are pretty similar.
Yeah.
Like it's the same. Like Toronto is kind of like New York or LA in the sense you're gonna get a pretty diverse crowd. But if you go in the middle of like Iowa or the middle of like Alberta, which is a province
Right.
up in Canada, it's the same thing. It's gonna be mainly white people, and you gotta like appeal to that kind of rural sensibility and
Yeah.
everything. But I'd say the audiences are actually pretty similar, and I don't know. I'd say I like LA audiences. I didn't
I
really
love
know what to
them.
expect coming here, but I love them. I feel
love
like
them.
they're on my level right away. And,
Yep.
Yeah. All this conscious social stuff we doing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I like about it?
They
It
like
feels like
performance art too. They're into art.
yeah, and the stakes are higher. Like up in Canada, people are making Trump jokes and
Right,
stuff.
right.
But it's like you're observing from a distance. It
Right.
feels cheap to
this ain't
even make
your
that
world,
joke.
like, relax.
Yeah, but here you
exactly.
make a Trump joke or whatever, something about the current kind of
invested.
zeitgeist. It's like you better be ready to
Better
back
bring
it
it, yeah.
up. Yeah,
Yeah.
Because there's people here who are directly affected, and they might agree, they
Yeah.
might not. But
So one of the coolest things I saw is actually last Sunday at the Laugh Factory Chocolate Sundays, the show I host on Sundays. We had Deaf Night. It was like literally Deaf Night. So they had an interpreter on stage doing comedy, and half the
There you
room was
go.
deaf.
You coming up,
is what
DJ.
the whole room said.
Half the room was deaf, and the other half was like just, I guess, I don't want to say
Normal.
normal. Right. But yeah, that was gay. The other half was gay, right? Right.
Gay.
You people don't know my
deaf, and-
struggle.
long-
We've been
they were-
talking about your struggles this
And they
whole
were
time.
not Long Island gay.
No,
they were like
gay, deaf, and black.
regular gay. Okay, all right, hilarious. But I never seen that. Like the room was so energetic, man, and it's so funny because the comedians, they didn't take any prisoners. Like they were like doing jokes about handicapped people and going in, and I could see the deaf people that didn't like it, and they got real quiet. And I wondered when they were saying this stuff, if the interpreter translated or did not do it to make sure the
yeah.
crowd was good. And it's so funny. Like I saw half the room shut
right.
down because one of my buddies did a joke about getting on a bus with the handicapped person with the wheelchair and holding him up. He's like, my car's in the shop. I ain't supposed to be here anyway. And it was just so funny. But to watch that, man, is there anything you wish people knew about the hard of hearing community that would make your job easier?
That's a good question. You know what a big thing I've been talking about a lot in my stand-up lately is like I think we have this tendency to either pity people with disabilities, or so we're like, oh, look at them with that horrible disability, or we put them up on this pedestal. We're like, wow, they were able to win this gold medal despite that horrible disability. But like it's always like rooted in some sort of pity. But I feel like I have a whole joke about how there's a lot of disabled assholes out there, and the sooner we can all admit that there are some disabled assholes, we'll move forward as a society. So I think it's kind of like anything where like, you know, there's a multitude of different disabilities and different personalities. So, you know, like I'm hard of hearing, but it doesn't like define everything about me. I got some flaws for sure.
Like you could not be as strong. You could be, you know.
People are like, oh, he's got shitty ears, so he must have a heart of gold.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
Not really.
No,
you know?
And so question too, this is so funny. I feel like everybody here has a crowd that's just not your crowd. Like my crowd that's not mine is like older white evangelical Christians who never had been around minorities. That's not they've never like that's not my crowd. Is there for you? Like, is there a crowd that's like not your thing? Like you know you can't win no matter what.
That's a good question. You know, I've done a couple all black rooms. I did a Zanies.
But we would love you. Like black folks, we're very giving and generous and loving.
Very giving, but I don't have enough energy on stage.
Unless it's a hood night.
No.
If it was a hood crowd, like regular black people will always love you, especially if you dance just a little bit. We gonna lose it. We gonna go nuts. But if it's a hood crowd, I don't always do well in hood crowds too.
You give them that Derek Gaines beatbox,
right.
I did this show when I was like a year into stand-up. I was visiting Oakland, and I did an all-black show there, and I had a joke I did at the time where I'm not like full deaf. I'm like I'm deaf like Obama's black. You know, like I use it when I need it.
Yeah.
And I was only a year in, and I was terrified to do
out
this.
there offending everybody.
Yeah,
DJ.
so I did it to like scare myself, and it went okay. Like they laughed, and I was
If
like,
you're white and you mention Obama, you better be good.
Right.
If you just mention it, I don't care if it's a joke or not. You better come with it.
Yeah,
I like that you
love
did it to
Obama,
scare yourself, though. That's good. Like you did it to like you were like, you know what? I know this might go either way, but I'm brave enough as a comic to do it. And I like
do you know that
That's
partner bit we've talked about? There's a lot of gay rooms in Toronto, and I did that at those rooms to make sure. I was like, if I'm scared to do it here, that means there's something wrong with my sensibility here. So I like that
smart.
idea of being like, I gotta do this for the crowd I'm talking about.
That's why you're a good comic. I think you're a great comic.
And Thomas, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So I just think you're dope, bro. Like,
Thank you. I
like
appreciate
your
it.
energy is awesome, and I love people. Again, I always respect that about New York people. Like, you know what you're getting. Ain't no fat. I don't have a lot of questions.
100%.
Like, I leave with more answers than questions.
Yeah.
What made you change from being the safe gay comic to like, I don't care what you think about me? Like, what happened?
Okay, it started moving out to LA. I got out of my comfort zone in New York, and then I was able to start expressing myself artistically. And then a year ago, Comedy Dynamics they were going to give me a special. We had it produced. They would give me $100,000 to shoot a special. We were shooting in New York.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it was going to be legit. That we had it already pitched out places. And 2 days before the taping, Paul Verzi, he was scheduled to tape on my day. He pulled out for some other reasons, and then they got Bob Saget to come in, and Bob Saget wanted the whole day. He didn't want to tape with anyone else, so they moved me around. They couldn't find me in the schedule. So they canceled me 2 days before I was ready to fly back out to New York.
Did you say they canceled you for Bob Saget?
Well, no, that was okay.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, ish.
That's okay.
Ish. It was okay because he's a name, and I get that he's a diva-ish, so he wanted his time, and he's earned it. That's fine. I didn't care about that.
Okay.
But the production company was going to reschedule me. I didn't like that they just disregarded me and just were like, well, Thomas, we're going to have to cancel your day. They canceled me 2 days before I was supposed to tape. They had me publicly talking about it. They had me having famous friends tweet, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. Family was coming out. Not only did they not reschedule me, they kept me stringed along. Next month we're going to do it. The month after that. Then it got to the point where, now we're only taking famous names, and if there's a spot left for Thomas, we will. After that, I just was so numb and so shook that it took me like 3 or 4 months to kind of even give a shit about this business. And when I got up on stage after that happened to me, I didn't give a fuck. I was like, you can't hurt me anymore. All I have is my truth, because I always was honest on stage, but then I got real honest because I was like, they could give you something that's going to blow you up, that you think is going to be huge, and they could take it right away. So why am I playing it safe? Why do I care? Absolutely. Because all I need is that one person who gets what I'm doing and gives me, because I know I just need that one opportunity, and when the people see on a grand scale, it's a wrap.
It's done.
So I'm fine with that. So I just need that one smart dude who's gonna stick with me, or girls, dude or girl or lady or dudette, whatever the fuck we gotta call it, and to bring me to the top. And everyone's gonna be making money.
Right.
So that's what I learned. And then from then on, dude, since it's just been a game changer.
Right.
And I was in love with this straight friend who was kind of playing with my heart for 4 years. So that kind of that's when the real shit started, like 4 years ago. I just didn't care anymore. I was heartbroken. And then the special thing happened a year ago, and it was just the stamp on. Now I really don't give a fuck.
Oh yeah, that's it.
That's it. And then the applause thing where I asked for no applause started like 3 months ago because it just started feeling phony to me. I was like, why are y'all clapping? You don't know what I'm gonna say yet.
You question everything. That's
Everything,
awesome.
yeah. So now it's just on. Now I don't. Now it's one. Now I got it. Now I know my voice.
And I always say comedy is discovery for me. Like there was a time where I was just trying to get standing ovations. That's what I did. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But now it's like for me, the more I work on myself off camera, off stage, all that stuff translates to on stage. And like I'm a black Christian. And people, if you hear my set, you can tell I'm Christian.
Right.
But I still have this filter. I used to have a filter. Now it's like I don't have a filter. So I question even like my faith. I talk about it on stage, and I say stuff that most Christians wouldn't say on purpose because I had to learn. And that's what I like about LA is LA teaches you to become your authentic self.
Yes.
As much as people are dicks in LA, you learn how to be yourself with no accountability.
100%.
You don't have dad in your ear, family in your ear telling you, suppressing you, and that unspoken family guilt thing that comes along with, living back home, being comfortable. And out here, I question everything because everything I taught, for the most part, is not true or partly true or like
and that's okay.
Cool, but it doesn't work for out here.
Yeah. Well, also there's a lot of isolation. There's a lot of free time, but with ourselves. So solidarity, that you will learn yourself. So I think that's part of LA too.
Absolutely, and I love it.
It's great.
It's sometimes it's painful because you have to abandon the stuff you grew up with. Like again, I learned that small town Jesus don't work in LA.
Yes, exactly.
Like I grew up on small town Jesus. You judge people and you make jokes about stuff like that, and you say gay jokes and an insensitivity and stuff like that. That's how I was raised. But then later on, I'm like, that doesn't make sense. That's foolish. And why would I judge somebody?
Sense. Exactly right.
Why would I judge somebody because of their lifestyle that doesn't affect me? Like, why would I do that?
Or even that you don't understand.
And why would I stay away from somebody that I don't understand? Which is like. The lazy thing to do is in life, when you don't take time to get to know people and you say what they are and label and put them in a box and don't take time to get to know them, you create racism, sexism, homophobia, xenophobia. Like you create all these things because you're too lazy to take time to get to know people.
Yeah.
And it's so simple. Yeah. Just first is admitting I just don't know you.
Yeah.
I don't get it. So that's the first thing.
Yeah.
And that's strength. That is a strong man or woman. Like to be able to say I don't understand. Yeah. That's the first step towards it.
Yeah.
I remember I said I had being a New Yorker, it was ironic to me that I had to move to LA to get real.
Yeah.
Because we are alone a lot in this town. So that you force.
LA is the loneliest city on the planet. If you're listening right now and you want to do comedy and move to LA, please know, first 2 years, mandatory depression.
Right, yeah.
You can be like, why am I depressed? Because you have.
I'm in it right now. I'm a year and a half in there. You're talking to a depressed man right now.
Mandatory depression, because I feel like, and this is my opinion, I feel like God makes you go through depression to get you unfamiliar with what you're familiar with. 100%. Because if you live in LA trying to compare it back home, you're going to stay in this bitter state of whatever. And then you go to this phase of discovery for yourself. And you're like, that's beautiful. Stupid. What am I doing? And then after that, you get to, I don't care no more.
Yes, exactly.
And that's why it probably takes 10 years to become successful in comedy because you stop caring.
To get good.
And you live your truth and you say it on stage. And then it takes a while for people to catch on. And when they catch on, then you become a thing and then you're famous and you're like, wow, this is amazing.
And you just do. I don't even know what's going to happen, but I know that I'm doing it for the art, for what's inside me, for what the universe gave to me. That's why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because every time I'm on stage is when I feel better. Yeah. And that's it. That's all I know 100%. Right now.
And I said this when you walked in the room. I said I like your energy, but what I learned is you're the thing that's LA's missing. Like it's just authenticity. Where you meet somebody and you know what you're getting. Like half the time people tap dance. And like
100%.
You and I kind of sort of mentioned it in our stand up where we choose the path of least resistance because you want to work. Yeah, that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? You don't give 2 farts, 3 nipples, and 2 titties about what you're doing. But again, later on when it happens, people are gonna love you for who you are. Yeah. And again, like I have a huge brand in this thing that I hate the word brand, but I know my demographic appeals to young men and of color, period. And I want them to know that that's my thing. Beautiful. And I want them to know you can be successful, be Christian, not compromise. And again, like the fact I'm doing the show and I don't judge nobody. We had 2 comics mention they do cocaine yesterday, and I'm like, that's what you do.
That's on you. Yeah,
and
that's
I
your
don't
nose.
judge. And I had to learn to do that. But back home, I never knew that was a thing. I didn't know you can be dope and still be in this environment and like not compromise because I didn't know myself and I was scared. But now it's like I'm around everybody, any kind of person. I don't care.
And dude, that's
Well,
why,
let's do some coke then.
yeah, but and that's why comics are so fucking incredible, and that's why I love comics so much, and I admire them and good comics, and because we do the research on ourselves because we want to be good comics, and the only way to be a good comic is to break through your own chains and to break through your own walls and to get out of that shit. Otherwise, you're gonna be a hack comic, and you're gonna play safe, and you might eat all the time and shit, but you're gonna be that. And I think the good comics want to do what you did and question yourself.
I question everything.
And what you did, DJ, and question, you know what, maybe that's gay baiting. Maybe that, my heart was in the right place, but the perception is not.
Yeah.
And don't fuck the insensitivity. It's about, if the shit is good, it's good. You don't have to be, sensitive or just be,
But everybody's filter is different. Your filter
everybody's filter is different.
Yeah.
But I want to bring people up to my filter rather than me raise myself rather than
That
me
whole
lower it.
disagreement we had was about you need to understand you're wrong for whatever you thought. And I'm like,
Not
that's
wrong.
just
I was just like, listen,
Yeah.
you can say, because there might be gay bitches out there
Right.
who are like, down, or there's the gay bitches is usually in the closet. It's the closeted motherfuckers that you were concerned about, and I'm not concerned about them.
It's not even closet because again, culturally speaking, it's just different.
If a black dude come up to you with his roller skates, hey, you can.
But I don't have to ask at that point.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. So
Are
the
you,
ones you do
roller
need to
skater?
ask, the ones
Yeah.
you do need to ask are the ones, in my opinion, are the ones that
Right.
really need it.
Just
and-
example. Both of you guys can do gay jokes, and it's okay.
No,
and
but
it's
you
just
can do gay jokes,
but
just
hear me
make
out.
them good.
Like a white guy can do a joke about being gay, and it's no consequence. In the black community, me being a straight black man, if I joke about being gay, it's a thing. Like, oh, clearly he's gay.
But can I say something?
That's
Because
just what it
y'all,
is. It's
I'm
very
going to be honest with you. The most, because of in your community, you say that the homophobia does run large.
Yeah, of course.
A lot of the black jokes, and this is, I'm telling you the God's honest truth, they come off homophobic because they are a little homophobic. So it's not that you can't do the joke. Once you work through your homophobia, and then you say
No, I'm
that.
talking about joking about being gay.
No, but
just
you
like
can- you
white
can
guys
joke-
can put, like one of their boys can be
But
sleep.
it
They can
usually-
put their nuts on another guy's face while he sleep.
Right.
It's a funny white
Yeah,
joke.
yeah.
Black men can't do that.
Because it's homophobia in your community,
Right,
right?
but
So
it-
y'all need to work on that first before maybe the gay jokes get good. That's
don't
all
think that's
I'm
gonna
saying.
change.
Well, don't say that because then that's like saying
no,
white
I'm talking
people
about like
can't change
the way
with
we
their
handle each
racism.
other. Because again,
You guys you can change. I believe you are evolved enough to grow.
homophobia, yes, I think it's a thing
Yes.
you can change. But the way black men handle each other, we're taught to be tough and like not trust people. So
but that's not
again,
right.
Again, I said this is generational.
But
trauma.
I want you to
This ain't
teach your
just-
kids, I want you to teach your children that they don't have to be that tough and that they don't have to be that.
I'm
That's all
clear
I'm
about
saying.
that part.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So
I'm
be
just
that role
saying
model.
there's a thing in the black
I
community.
know it's there.
Mentioning,
Yeah.
like I've seen a white guy mention, like, I'm just playing, I'm not gay. And like
Right.
everybody's like, oh, he's hilarious. Or even in a role on TV. When we, if a black man play gay on TV, like you're gay for the rest of your career. Like this is what it is.
Was Damon Wayans when they did the In Living Color? He wasn't gay for the rest of his career.
But that was comedy. But I'm like,
Okay.
in a straight role, like it's a traumatizing thing. Like I think the guy
That's on y'all then.
Is that,
I
is
know
that
that.
a
That's
black
need to
thing
fix
or
it.
also
I'm
a
saying my
Christian
community is
thing?
different.
So
Like,
fix it.
That's why I said I can't fix it.
Is
Yes,
that
you
just
can.
a black thing
Yes,
or
you
also
can.
a
I can
Christian
bring awareness,
thing?
but I can't fix it.
Bringing awareness is
And
part
again,
of
you
fixing
and
it.
I are
Yes.
not the issue, but I'm saying,
Right,
like,
I know, but
I'm
we're
just
the
letting you know
fixers
how
as
it is.
comics. We're the fixers.
Do you feel Christianity also has a
course,
part in
religion,
that?
yes,
So it's not
religion.
just a
A
black
lot
thing.
of us
it's
have
It
strong
comes from
upbringing in the
religion.
church.
They use religion
Right.
to mask, just like patriotism, to mask their racism. They
Because
use
I have a
religion
thing, even
to
with
mask
Christians,
their
about
homophobia.
If you're going to judge homophobia, you got to judge sleeping with a person before they're married.
Of course, all
Abortion,
of it.
all like it's all
It's
sin. It's
ridiculous.
not like
It's all
you know what I'm saying. Like it's
ridiculous.
You can't separate and be like that's the worst sin than this.
That's
Like,
religion. They separate. They pick and choose. My
Yeah.
mother's. I was raised Catholic, Roman Catholic. Listen,
Yeah.
you know. So it's all. That's a whole nother podcast. Religion is ridiculous.
you need to have a podcast.
I'm gonna have one on the Improv called "Waiting for Your Spot," and I'll be interviewing comics waiting for their spot.
Hey, Waiting for your spot. That's really dope, and he's a part of the solution,
Yes.
which is awesome.
We should,
man.
and I love that, and I think we all can be as comics.
Absolutely, it's our job.
Am I? Oh, you're looking at
You
me.
were going to say something.
Oh, everyone just looking at. Well, I was actually going to ask you a question. I don't know how much time we have left, but how do you feel like shackled by your Christianity at all as a comedian?
At a certain point in my career, I did because I protected myself from a lot of stuff that I used to be. Like I used to chase chicks. I used to be a hoe. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like that's just what I used to be because part of it's culture and part is just not knowing yourself. You know what I'm saying? And then when I got quote unquote saved, I wouldn't want to go to the club. I wouldn't want to be around whatever. And I'm like, why am I doing that? Because I'm necessary in certain areas. Like I know that specifically who I am in Hollywood is necessary because I go in places that most Christians wouldn't go to meet cool people. And I don't sell them on my Jesus. The people are like, you're different. How are you happy? And I'm like, oh, this is what it is. And then there's a dialogue about whatever. Not judging even where you're at. But I still like, no, I'm necessary in those environments. Because again, part of church culture is like, oh, you have a gift. Let's use your gift in the church. And people like black church people call me like the church comedian. I'm the black Christian comedian. I'm not. I'm a comedian and I'm Christian.
Yes.
And you won't even know I'm clean until I announce it. But again, that's part of my dynamic and that's what my calling is. But I don't.
That's coming from your heart. And I think that's beautiful. I don't feel like it's contrived with
I don't
you.
judge. I got a strict no judgment policy. And again, like a part of my.
That's beautiful.
My journey in LA was I had to find my middle. Again, it was a time where I was raised in the streets. Like my parents let me go to the club when I was like 16. And then I had this traumatic moment in my life where I feel like I needed God, and I went the whole other direction. I got super saved, and I was judgmental and telling people what they should do and what's not right, and good Christians don't go to the club and blah, blah, blah. And then you move to LA and you like, people party all the time here. Like my friend's birthday is on a Tuesday, but where I'm from, you don't go to the club because that's sinful.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm going to my friend's birthday party. It's at the club and I'm going. So I had to get rid of that and suspend that and then find my middle. So it was tough. At first, it was tough because I didn't have answers because I don't have a lot of people that have a reference point for my type of faith. Most Christians are work, church, home kind of Christians. I go to work, I go to church, I go to home. Yeah. And anything outside of that is sinful.
That's why your voice in comedy is important.
But for me, I stay out at 2 a.m. talking to my buddies at a comedy club, and I see people that's hurting. Hey, you want to come to my church? Like, I see people like going through stuff, and I'm like, I can pray for them or whatever. And like, I don't judge. I'm just around so many different types of people, and I'm like, this world is so big, I can't judge anybody.
You're not preaching to the choir.
I don't do that.
And that's what
now, if you ask me, I'm gonna tell you.
Of course.
But other than that, I don't. I got you. Yeah, this is a great conversation. Yeah, all good. But yeah, man, I'm learning, dude. Like, was that a part of your background upbringing too? Just your faith or whatever?
I grew up Catholic, but not really. Like, we went to church until I was like 7 or something, and then my parents were like, okay, that's enough. You get the idea. We're done. But I don't feel I feel the same no judgment thing as you. In fact, recently I've made it kind of my MO to like be 100%, I was telling Thomas this on the way in, like kind of egoless and positive and try to make everybody in the room feel good. And that's kind of hard as a comedian because sometimes there's got to be the butt of a joke. But I don't feel any particular faith, and I think in my soul, I am a hedonist, and I want all the bad stuff as well. I'm fighting that every day, man. You were like, "Oh, we're partying on a Tuesday." I'm like, "Nobody's tell me where these parties are. I want to party on a Tuesday."
One thing I learned about life is I feel like humans are beautiful, but we also trash.
Of course,
like across the board. Like my big bro is gay, man, and I actually met him in Atlanta at my church, and I think everybody kind of knew, but nobody said nothing. And then later on, he kind of came out and said that he has a boyfriend. I'm like, I never judged him, but he's one of the dopest human beings I ever met. And if I never had that experience, I would have never known.
Of
like,
course.
because again, in the South, you like, oh, you gay, let me get away from you.
It's
like,
terrible.
You know what I'm saying?
It's sad.
But I didn't know.
Yeah. It's just sad that we even have to come out. I can't wait till the day that we don't have to, I can't wait for
it's
the day.
It's becoming more of a thing now where you don't have to.
And it should start
nobody
with childhood. Yeah. I knew when I was 9 that I was gay. You should be able to say to a child, you might be gay or straight, and when you get to your sexual education in 6th grade, you'll figure that out, and it's okay.
Yeah,
that's where we got to get to.
And I think too, that's why your success is necessary because you become the face of this thing. And I think the more that we see successful gay people, it makes it more like, oh, you're like me. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like.
It's like what I was saying about the disabilities too. Different types of gay people.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, for both of you, I was going to ask, do either one of you is there a person that you saw as your role model before you started doing comedy? Like, I want to be like him. Did you have somebody that's in the
I always looked up to comedians from a young age, man. I've always loved
anybody specifically with your same thing that you like.
There's no hard of hearing comedian to well, there's some, but not that I knew when I was young.
And that's why you're necessary.
Yeah, I mean, I always think about like I haven't really hit a huge level of success yet. So if some hot 20-year-old girl with hearing aids and she's hot,
hearing aids, she
if she comes out, I'm done, man. I gotta hit it before some hot hearing impaired 20-year-old girl comes out because
turn her hearing aid off.
You just wish you could turn her mouth off.
You hold her hands, don't talk. Don't talk. Shh. Hold her hands, don't talk.
Yeah, and y'all females need to get your sense of humor back too. You know, it's like
So
it's
funny.
so,
What about you? Did you have somebody that you grew up with?
Ironically, there was no gay comics for me
Yeah.
to see. I mean, Mario Cantone was, but he's not my type of gay dude. My comic when I was growing up was
Long
Chris Rock.
Island gay.
No,
Yeah.
Chris Rock. Like I saw him and I was like, dude, that dude smashes, and he's like talking. He brought the shit like Richard Pryor.
He was the
Chris
news.
Rock. They brought
the news.
they brought white and black shit together. White people were like, oh yeah, I feel that way about black people, and it's okay that there are certain types of black people. And Richard Pryor did the same thing. So I want to do that. My voice for that for straight people. I don't do gay shows. I do straight because gay, LGBT, they too sensitive and all that stuff, and so I'm not. And I don't want.
Exactly what I was telling you earlier.
But I don't want to preach to the choir. But I'm just saying, like I'm trying
what I
to
was
break
trying to
through
say.
those barriers. I'm trying to.
You don't
have
like
to
gay
be-
shows? They don't respond well to you?
No, gay fans of comedy respond well to me, but I don't do the whole like. I don't want to be.
Gay
I like
night.
straight crowds because they're confident with themselves. Y'all are raised with confidence.
Just
so.
told you we had a whole disagreement. Like, no, not in Hollywood. I'm like, no, it's a
No.
thing.
I'm saying,
It's a thing.
but I'm saying, like it's a thing with like there are a few. They're the gay bitches. There are plenty of gay men in Hollywood that are in the industry that are confident and secure and won't do that. So you had that experience, and it kind of torn you to.
That wasn't one.
What there is one or two. I hear it a
Yeah.
lot. To be honest with you, my black comic friends are the ones that are having this issue. I've never heard a white comic straight male. He uses it to his advantage. So I think maybe it's leaking in a little bit from your community in what y'all
This is
are raised with.
all white mixed
Yeah.
crowds. It's like
No. What I'm saying is,
yeah.
it's white straight men comics aren't having that issue with the gay industry. They're actually reaping the rewards. Maybe because my black straight comic
white.
friends, my white, that too. But whatever it is, we all have to take a little bit of accountability too. And you may have perceived it when she said that to you. It might have turned you the wrong way. And to be honest, a lot of the black straight comics that do gay jokes, I don't know your gay jokes, but they are hacky. And I'm like, yeah, it's just not good gay jokes.
Yeah.
It does come from a homophobic place, which is fine because that's their truth. There's huge homophobia in the black community, so that's the truth. But that's what's coming out on stage. So that's why they're trying to. Maybe the advice was don't do it because it does sound homophobic, and we want you to get that job. Not don't do a gay joke. Just make the gay joke fun.
I don't think that's even like. Again, I'm talking about just doing gay jokes that are not even like that.
But I've
people
heard a
sensitive
lot of gay
and
jokes that
shut
are
down.
funny.
Or
Well,
shut
yeah,
down.
yeah. I mean, yeah.
The crowd shut down, and this is like multinational crowds, and you're like, wow, like that's how it is.
But that's straight people. To be honest, I had to say transgender instead of tranny because straight people were getting upset with me. They would turn. Yeah, I had to fix the joke because they would shut down and I would lose them because I said tranny. And I dated a guy who turned into a fucking tranny. Okay, so that I'm saying that's the straight people closing up.
Yeah.
It's like white people.
And the cool part is
white
you get a
guilt,
chance-
straight guilt. It's that shit.
you get a chance to explore all that, and again, some other people don't. That's why I'm like, instead of penalizing people who say stupid stuff about a certain thing, it should be a teachable moment.
100%. That's what I wanted between
unless
us.
it's like the
That
heart
was-
of it
yeah.
is malicious.
Yes.
Like if it's not malicious, it's a
course,
teachable
it's
moment.
all intention.
But if you
Exactly.
like
Yes.
going off and saying
Yes.
N's and F's, I'm like,
Of
I feel
course,
like
that's- yes.
you should definitely get punished.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Or it's not even. I don't think anyone should be punished. I think
Yeah.
that they might reap the consequences.
Yeah.
I think consequences are real, and that's fine.
Absolutely,
that's
yeah.
fair.
Because even when I
Consequences
talk
are
about
fair.
black issues and I hear white people groan, I stop. I'm like, so what's your problem?
Exactly,
And they say it out
right.
loud, and then I'll talk to them about
That's
whatever.
beautiful.
And
Yeah, that's
and sometimes
teachable.
people are just committed to their narrative, and that's just
And
what
they're
it is.
gonna be
And I'm
ignorant.
not trying to save them.
Exactly
But
right.
Again, for me, I think it's always important because I'm a student of life to have a heart for people. And even if you
Yes.
don't understand, try to understand.
100%.
Like I thoroughly enjoy talking to you,
One-
and I feel like you
vice
and I
versa.
would
I agree,
possibly
100%.
one best friends one day. I just feel like you're
100%.
so dope, and I get where you come.
Yeah.
I get your heart.
Totally.
You're very pure and it's rare out here. You know what I'm
I
saying?
agree.
But
Same with you.
I do that with life. I'm a student of life, and I just want to learn, man.
Yeah, man. That's what we're here for. If you're not learning, you're dead. To be
Absolutely.
honest. Yeah.
And that being said, you listen to the Comedy Pop-Up podcast, man. I want to thank both of my guests, DJ Demers,
That's right.
the best, coolest DJ. And I'm just playing. And then also my man, Thomas Dale, who's just, both of y'all just freaking awesome, man. I'm glad y'all had the
Yeah, it was
chance
fun.
to stop by the show, but I also would love for y'all to come back because we didn't talk much about our career. We
Right.
talked more about politics and social stuff.
Shit, that
around
is,
the
you
career,
know, that's
which is
great.
dope.
It's
But I
beautiful.
feel like we should definitely come back because I wanted to hear about both of you guys' journey, being in LA and being where you're from and trying to navigate through that to get to where you're at now.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, and I
I'm
both
down.
want to encourage y'all, man. Both of y'all necessary to
too,
some
man.
little boy, little girl that's like can't wait to see somebody like you to be
Yep.
like to make this thing real.
100%.
To make this thing like I can be a comedian. Like because when I won stand up for diversity for NBC. I actually went.
You won it?
I won it.
Oh, nice.
good
When
for
did
you.
you
I
win?
think 14.
Oh, cool.
I won
man.
in 14, but I had a guy on my show, and he was deaf, and they had an interpreter.
That son of a bitch.
He had an interpreter, which was so funny, and I was laughing. I was like, it would have been more funny if he had a black old lady black interpreter while he did his set.
Yeah.
Because he had a white guy, and the white guy wasn't funny. He was like just very like, nah. And then so I said, and I'm like,
Yeah,
you should have a black one with put a little seasoning on it, a little louder seasoning on
Did
it.
you ever see that interpreter at the Wu-Tang concert? She was interpreting for the audience. You got to look it up. It's like, I think it was
Was it on
Method Man or RZA. I think it was on
Was she kind of
Insta-
heavy set?
I can't remember what she
think I
looked
saw
like.
it, and she
But
was,
yeah,
like,
she
going
was
in.
putting her ass
Yeah.
into it. She was going full Wu-Tang on the interpreter.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
That's
what
dope,
you
man.
need.
But I look forward to both of y'all blowing
Yeah,
up,
man.
man, and
Me
we
too.
revisiting this and like talking about,
Yeah.
this is where I was at first, and you only been out here for 2 years,
Yeah, year and a half.
man. Buckle up. How long you been out here?
5.5.
5.5.
Yep.
Flew by, right?
From what?
It flew by, right?
Oh, dude, it's been the best 5.5 years ever. Ups and downs, and I've been to my lowest lows, and I've loved every minute of them.
Yeah, about every 5 years you're gonna be on Suicide watching that. Like,
Oh, 100%.
You're like, nobody sees me clearly.
Yeah, 100.
Nobody sees me clearly, and then you're
It's
gonna have a
so
moment. You're like,
lonely here.
Yeah.
When I came on this podcast, they were the first words I spoke out loud today. I had been silent since I woke up like 5 hours ago, just alone with my
Yeah,
thoughts.
it's beautiful though. You gotta
Yeah, it is
embrace it.
beautiful.
You gotta
Yeah.
embrace it. That's why most New York comics don't last here. They wind up going back because they don't like that. They start. Oh, they need that attention and that.
yeah.
They,
And the money's different here too.
yeah, you're
Like New York, you can do like 4 sets.
You
and
can
like,
make spot money.
Yeah.
Not out here. Out here, you got to be up there just because you love it.
Right, it's Showcase City, man.
Yeah, man.
I want to wish you all the best,
Yeah,
man. Before
thanks
we
for
get out
having
of
me.
here, I got a couple questions that we always ask. This is my
Yeah.
favorite part of the show, myself and Paul. And there's no right or wrong answer. And feel free to answer however. I should know these questions by now. Why am I looking at my phone? All right, first question. If you could do lunch with somebody dead or alive, it could be famous, family, whoever, who would it be?
I've been wanting to speak with one of the legends because I've always felt myself as one of them one day. So I want to get their advice if they went through my struggle. So Richard Pryor would be one that I want to sit
Daddy
with
Rich.
and ask him
Yeah.
if he
Any
suffered.
particular reason why?
Because I feel like I want to know if this suffering that I have gone through of not being understood and not pandering and all that, if he went through all that and what he had to feel. And he, from what I've read or
He
seen,
did.
he
Absolutely.
did. Yeah,
he
exactly.
did.
So
Because
that's
he used
why.
to be Cosby, and then he was like, I can't
Right.
do this. And he became himself. And
Exactly.
people are like, oh,
Yeah,
we like
and
that.
I feel it, and I just need a little reassurance from him.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even know if you guys know this guy, Leonard Cohen. He's like an old
heard
singer
him.
song,
It
and he
sounds
passed away
familiar.
a couple
Yeah.
years ago. I don't know, man. I love him, but I will go. I'm going to go to the comedy route. But Leonard Cohen's like one of my idols, even though he's a musician. I really want to hang with Sarah Silverman, man. I've never
cool.
met her, and
She's
she
cool.
seems
She's
so
cool.
cool. And I love her comedy, and
Yeah.
she's no bullshit, and her heart's
Yeah.
I always agree with her on a lot of points, and I feel like
Even the
I'd
racist
love
stuff
to.
too?
Sorry,
Even the racist stuff she says too?
Oh, does
What
she? I
racist
never
stuff?
heard it yet.
Okay, cool. All right, never mind.
did she say some racist stuff for real?
It's just like I don't. It felt like I don't have any black friends kind of stuff.
Interesting.
When you have black friends, certain stuff you wouldn't say. Just like if you have gay friends, you like I wouldn't say that because I have a friend like that. But I feel like
She just don't. She's a little like.
It just was older stuff too. I saw it. I'm like I'm kind of cool. Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay.
It's
well,
comedy.
I'll have to
comedy,
reevaluate.
man.
You know
Yeah.
what? Fuck Sarah Silverman.
That is hilarious. Yeah, but comedy's for every like it's again like it's all necessary.
Yeah,
I'm
100%.
around a bunch of stuff that I don't like hearing, but again, comedy's all necessary for the game.
100% good
Find
comics.
what you like, yeah, because everybody ain't gonna like me. Like, well, you a clean comedian? I like that raw.
I
that
really
raw,
like what
edgy
you
stuff.
said about how you didn't even mind if the black jokes were coming from a place of homophobia if it's their
It's good.
truth.
If it's their truth, it's
Yeah,
fine.
if that's what.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
get
mean,
it.
I
But
agree. As
people are
long as I
gonna-
see an authentic version of a person
people are
up
going to
there.
react to it, and
Yeah.
that's, that's
Yeah.
fine.
I would love for you to be at my show, and if I mention the phrase, I used to be homophobic, like mention used to be homophobic, and watch the crowd's response. It's such a weird thing because it's so like,
You're not anymore. Is that what they're
well, like
reacting
isn't that
to?
something you don't even say? You're not even supposed to say that you used to be homophobic because it sounds like a thing. Like you were homophobic. Like again, it's just
I don't know. I think you might have a little sensitivity because I've seen stuff like that, and I think people
Bro, I'm so-
appreciate
it's the
it.
weirdest
I think
thing
people
ever.
appreciate it.
Is
But
this
we
at
have to remember,
a
my man.
black show or an
No.
all?
But
Really?
We have to remember and try to just keep this in your head. When we're on stage, because I've done it a lot, I can't even watch an audience before I go up because I start judging them. We have to remember that we're a little extra sensitive on stage because our senses are heightened when we're up there. So just put it in your brain and take that into consideration that might be happening a little bit sometimes with some of the things with the gay stuff that you might be experiencing. I'm just saying.
I'm sitting here. It's not even talking about me, but watching comedians perform in a
Right.
certain environment, and watching the crowd shut down just because
Right.
they mentioned homophobia or somebody's gay. They shut down. That's why I said if I said the phrase, I used to be homophobic. It's so taboo to say homophobia now. Like it's a thing.
That's okay.
Again, for you, you're a specific type of gay
that's
person
fine.
that I haven't even seen since I've been out here.
Right, okay,
But
that's
it's
fine.
a thing to even mention homophobic.
crazy, then.
How could you be that?
I mean, that's crazy.
It's weird.
Yeah.
All right. Second question. What sound or smell reminds you of home? And I mean, like home.
I
Like what
like
sound
that.
or smell reminds you of home? I feel like you have a bunch of them.
Well, I don't know. To be honest with
Is it
you, it's
Italian?
New York. Well, yeah, you're right. All right. Oh, yeah, dude, you just brought me there. And now that you said that, onions being cooked in the pot, it reminds me of Sunday when my mom would cook sauce.
Yeah.
And that when I smell that onions being cooked, that sizzling, that reminds me of home of my
That's dope.
mom. Yeah.
I knew you had a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure New
Well, I
York
was
is a
gonna
whole
say
other
like
thing too.
piss and shit.
Yeah, dude just said last show. Dude said trash truck.
Trash, yeah.
Trash truck remind me of home.
Yeah.
New York. That is the worst sound effect ever.
It scared me.
What about you, DJ? What sound or smell reminds you of home?
I would say I just had maple syrup for the first time in a while, and that's a very
that's
cliche
nice,
Canadian
yeah.
thing to say, but it brought me back, man.
That's nice.
And I was at this like corporate gig last week, and a bunch of the executives at this company I was performing for got up and told a little bit about themselves. And one woman got up and said she lived in New Hampshire and she had 10 maple trees on her property that they actually tapped and got sap out of. And I felt the Canadian in me because I was like, oh my God, I would love that. I've never felt that before.
That's so funny. I don't even have a reference point for that.
Oh man,
great.
maple syrup. You've had maple syrup on
I have, it's probably
pancakes?
commercialized. It's probably not like the authentic, like what you're talking about.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I love
your
all
name
that.
a
I'll take
whole
the
hockey
pure
stick.
sugar.
It's probably that homophobic
Maple
maple
leaf.
syrup.
Right. Yeah, right. Had me being all sweet.
Let me at
Not
them,
dealing
Ron.
with that.
Ron, you let me at them. Who's hurting you? You let me at them. I'll
Who
take
hurt
care
you,
of them.
Ron?
I'll take care of them little sensitive.
You gonna name a
bitches.
whole hockey team of maple leafs? Really?
You let me at them sensitive bitches.
All the fagacious activity
Okay,
going
yeah.
on right now.
I'll stand at the side of the stage when you're on stage. Let him say what he got to say.
You let him say it. This is my friend. He's my sponsor.
Yeah, exactly.
He's going to let me say it used to be homophobic.
Exactly.
Hilarious.
You can do it like the Mitch Hedberg joke. I used to be homophobic. I still am, but I used to be as well.
Right. Hilarious. All right. Next question. What's the one thing you learned about yourself from your last relationship? Not the person, yourself. What's the one thing you learned about yourself?
My
go,
last
DJ.
one, the one I was in
Or
before-
in now, whatever.
My last one was a horrible relationship, and I was in it way too long. And I learned that you need to be 100% honest with yourself or get the fuck out of there because I didn't love
date a
her, and
stripper?
I hung around way too long, and I ended up I cheated. I was just a bad guy all around, and it manifested in everything in my life. So now it's like, if you're not 100% invested, let the person know. Or
So they can
get
find
the
their
hell
real
out.
husband?
What's that?
So they can find their real husband?
Yeah, exactly. You're wasting, you're wasting everybody's time. So
Yeah.
don't waste time. Either be in it or don't be in it.
And was it a
Was it what?
man?
Oh no.
Okay, I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
I was like, Ron, say it. Say it, Ron.
You better say it, Ron.
Imagine if I reacted like, oh God, no.
I always I do that on stage. I say to a person, I go, "You gay or straight?" I say to a straight guy, and it's 99% of the time he turned his face, and I go, "Motherfucker, stop it! Look at me like you just ate a lemon. Like,
Yeah.
stop it! You're
so funny.
insulting me."
I
with
like doing
face."
that if there's a couple guys sitting in the front row. I'll say, how long you guys been together? And sometimes they react so poorly. I'm
Yeah,
like,
you
that's
gotta
on
show
you,
the
not
people.
me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Come on, man. All that gay stuff. Don't be doing
Yeah.
that. Don't be putting maple syrup in your jokes. Yeah.
It's so true.
Maple syrup in your jokes. You got some nerve, man.
So ridiculous.
What about you, man?
I would say because I only had one boyfriend for 3.5 years. He was my first love.
Is this a straight one?
No, he was gay, and it was real love.
I have so many questions about that one.
Yeah, it was before comedy.
right.
I tell the story on This Is Not Happening. I committed suicide after it. It was crazy.
You committed suicide?
I tried to. Yeah, I wound up
Okay,
in
I
a
thought you
mental
said you did.
institution.
Like you died and came back? Like,
Right.
But did you die?
I failed
Did you
at it.
die? Oh my God. You committed suicide?
Yeah, it was more like a homicide.
Yeah.
You jumped off a building and landed. Like,
Landed. I'm a cat.
hate you, God.
No, I tried to overdose on pills.
Yeah.
Apparently, the Lord wants me here because the doctor said someone's watching him because he should have died with all those pills he took. But regardless.
10 Flintstone vitamins.
No, I did that when I was in 6th
I'm killing my birthday. I'm never having a birthday again.
I feel hella
Hate you,
good
God.
right now. Yeah. I got all these vitamins.
All right,
And
good.
I consider relationships as like friendships or even the dude that I was in love with or all that stuff. I learned through all those relationships that I'm what matters, and I gotta love. I'm worth it, and I'm valuable, and I don't need someone else to make me feel like I'm loved or that I'm worth something. Just realize that I'm worth it. That I'm great, and that I don't need to be with somebody to know that I'm great, and that I deserve all the things that I want.
Yeah,
and that's it. And that's what I learned. I don't need nobody but me.
Dude, you're a walking TED Talk. You know that? Freaking walking TED Talk. From the time he looked at this whole conversation, the problem is we need to do better. You need to teach them, Ron. Stop being homophobic of yourself. Ron, there's a thing with your community you need to fix. I'm gay. My dad needs to learn how to. People don't gay.
I will enlighten you if this is the last thing I do. That's what I like to do.
Walking TED Talk. I can't wait for you to actually do your TED Talk too. It's gonna happen. Trust me.
Thomas talk.
Right. All right. So, last question. Knowing what you know about yourself, what would you have told your younger self in comedy?
In comedy? Okay, that's a good
comedy. What would you have told yourself, knowing what you know now?
No, that's it. I would just say keep it real. Just be real and be honest.
Yeah.
Honest. But that's something you get, I guess you learn through comedy.
Of course, you got to.
Yeah. There's no shortcut to that. You gotta kind of, because you don't even really know what your real self is when you're like 23 or whatever.
Exactly. Just be real.
Yeah, but I would agree with that too. I feel like, I mean, I think there's still value in just being funny for funny's sake, but I feel early on I was more just like trying to make jokes because they were jokes.
I don't know what to talk about.
Yeah.
I got plenty of stuff to talk about now.
Yeah.
But like now I feel like there's some value in mining. I don't go as deep and dark as some comics, but I think there's value in mining the things that kind of torture you a little bit and using them for comedy. So I feel that's what I would tell my younger self is don't be afraid to like go there, like go into that part of your brain that seems a little bit scary and try to find what's funny.
But isn't that dope how comedy is? Like everybody here, your thorns and your pain is like the anchor for all the stuff you talk about. Like I can tell your whole set is about the stuff that hurts you, like really gets on your nerves, get in your skin. It's like your whole entire set.
Yeah. I call it living on stage. I tell everybody, just live up there. That's it. And the rest will happen. Just live up there.
Dope, man.
And because everybody else is going through their shit too.
Of course. That's why they're there to see
And we
us.
get a chance to say it on stage.
100%. And let them feel.
Yeah. I'm going to ask Paul too.
Yeah.
What would you have told your younger self?
My younger self?
Yeah.
Definitely.
You know, you're still new, but you're still learning.
Yeah, still new. Definitely, I'm having fun talking about the family stuff. Like, I'm having fun. I mean, I got a brother that's in prison, and I'm starting to like do jokes about
that's funny.
that.
That's beautiful.
That's a joke?
It's therapeutic.
I mean, that's not.
We
the
laughing
joke,
about
but-
this now as a family?
Yeah.
After all we've been through?
He's very homophobic, so let's talk about
He deserves
that.
it.
you're going to learn about
He
it in
deserves it.
prison.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to get some then.
Did you eat a honey bun today? Okay, good. I'll put money in your books.
Yeah, but talking about the family stuff, like I'm having fun kind of delving into that and, you know, going through the dark stuff on stage and like, obviously it doesn't all have to be laughs. So
Right.
like when you get those lows and
they're
you're talking
listening.
about, but then you hit them with something that they weren't expecting, like that's fun to me. So that's what I
magic.
learned. Yeah.
Man, I love comedy with all my heart.
Me too,
Comedy
man.
literally changed
Same.
my life and made
Yep.
my life better.
Me too.
I live a great
I love
life.
him more every day.
I love it more than I've
And it never goes away. I have moments where I'm like kind of
dude.
blah, but I feel like that's my own thing, not doing self-care and like
Yes.
getting out of my head and like going to live a little bit because you got to live and do comedy.
Yep.
And I was telling the comic last podcast is comedy is all about balance. It's discovery and balance, and you have to balance so much stuff in order to be good at this thing.
Yeah.
Because it's very shameful to like make it to the top. You got all this money and you didn't do the work on yourself that's required in order to be great.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like most comedy clubs, you get free drinks. Comedy comes with women.
All right.
Comedy comes with knowing when to go home. Comedy comes with drugs. Comedy comes with all this stuff.
Right.
And if you don't know how to be like, nah, I'm not going to do that.
You can't be great.
Wait,
my first time on
Wait,
stage-
we're not supposed to be doing that?
Right. And then like my first time on stage, I got drunk
Oh,
because I was nervous. And I
Yeah.
thought that was a part of getting
Yeah.
nervous. But imagine if I thought I had to drink in order to,
It's true.
you look back, you're like, how the heck did I get here? I'm an alcoholic in order to be funny. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But it's all about balance. And even when you get a person, you got to learn how to balance coming home and making time for your person because they're going to require time. And we got stripper hours. So we go to bed. We go to work
Yeah.
at 8 when it's
That-
daytime. And they're not taking a day off work to get with us. So we got to like learn how to balance. It's all
That's the
about
one
balance, man.
part I haven't been able to do yet is get back into the dating thing because I said I just can't. I don't want to be that yet. You know, like I just want to be.
But you still
this-
got a little sting on you too, though. You got a little.
Yeah, I got-
bit of-
yeah.
you got to get that chip off your shoulder.
Yeah, that's
before
why I
you
got
date.
this puppy because I'm like that's the first step towards reaching outside myself.
Right. That's another thing I would have told my younger self is you have no idea how much this is going to affect your
Your
relationship.
whole life.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful.
Everybody here would have been married 10 years by now.
Yeah.
And divorced and fat and ooh.
Right. 16 kids.
I can't. I only kick it with comics. I can't even. I think once, like I said before, once you're woke, you can't really get back to sleep. So,
Yeah.
I love that. I
So
love
besides
that.
your dog, who do you talk to? I'm like,
Comics, my buddies.
Your normal is so like not normal.
I know, man, and
Like, there's no such thing as normally work, but you're normal. Like, where do you share this stuff?
I have friends, and I have a couple of best friends,
But they don't get it, right?
They get that, they accept that I'm this thing, and they let me be it. But I do often wind up alone and by myself, and I've.
That's what your gay friends wouldn't even get it.
I don't have gay friends. I have a couple that I find funny.
You're such a rebel.
Yeah, the therapist actually says that I have a clinical rebel mentality that I have to work on in therapy, so I can't stand in lines. Like, it's weird. It's like a thing. So
That sounds like an Instagram chick.
Instagram
She's a rebel in part Instagram thought. I don't do lines, okay?
my food's getting cold.
Selfie! Like, if you don't get out of here. Hey, so listen, man, we want to thank you for joining the Comedy Pop-Up Podcast. Before we leave, you two want to tell us how can we contact you and what do you have going on?
You can find me on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook, DJ Demers, Demers. And next thing I'll be back at Just for Laughs in Montreal this summer. So I guess if you're in Montreal, come out to that.
I thought it was recently.
No, it's in July.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
July.
Oh, the showcase was recently. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. So just check out my website and follow me.
What about you, sir?
Just find me Thomasdale5 on Instagram. I shut
You
down
can find
my
him
website.
rebelling somewhere.
Shut down your website?
Yeah, it's too corporate, and I just feel like
What's that?
Websites. Like, if you want to find me, I want the people who are going to look for me, and they're going to be with me through the
Yeah,
the
websites
desert.
do seem kind of weird now.
It's
Like,
just
go to my-
whack. Like,
my
come,
website.
you'll find me if you want to. If you're a fan, you will come to me.
I feel like
gonna
Instagram is that thing now. Instagram is like,
Thomasdale5, the number 5. That's my favorite number. It's just everywhere.
does 5 mean anything?
Yeah. Apparently,
The
it means
boroughs?
big change. No, it's just there are 5. It's always been very prevalent in my life. Anytime I've evolved in a new stage, 5 has been there. People I've been connected to loved 5. Their name was Sinkway. It's just a lot. And everywhere I've evolved the most and grown in my life, 5 was very prevalent. So now I know when I see 5, big change is coming. And then I looked it up actually recently, and it said big changes. It's great. It's nuts. It's just because I'm higher conscious and I am aware of this. We all can do it. But
You're in another realm right now.
that's
We need to
every
catch
day,
up.
dude. The way, no,
catch up.
the way that when
I slapped somebody and saw
hit me
Motel
up.
6. I was like, you know what? 6 is my number. That's it. I
You
slapped him
have a
6
number,
times.
yeah.
And right.
I always feel like I had a psychedelic
It's June.
experience.
It's
after
June.
hanging out with
Slapped him.
Thomas.
Motel 6. 6 slaps. June. June 6th.
I wake up like this every day, bro.
Freaking hilarious. God bless you, man. Make time to breathe, dude.
Yeah, I know.
You gotta breathe, man. You got a lot on your shoulders.
I know.
Freaking walking TED Talk. Hey, so listen, man. Thank you guys for joining
man.
the Comedy Pop-Up Podcast, man. Every Sunday I host at the world famous Laugh Factory at Chocolate Sunday's Comedy Show. 7 o'clock and 9:30 show. You can follow me on at Comedian Ron G. I'll post all the information.
Okay, I found this on the web for Papa John's Mount Everest.
I don't know how that happened.
Just called you out.
Papa John's Mount Everest. That's freaking hilarious. The gay community is
That would have
listening.
been fun if it was Popeyes.
The gay community is listening right now. They're trying to shut me down because I said you used to be homophobic. I tell you, man. They got my phone tapped.
That's the industry right there.
The industry is serious code word for LGBT number 5. All right, cool. All right. Please follow me, comedian Ron G. That is so freaking stupid and hilarious. Also, I have another podcast I do called Two Piece Podcast. Please check it out. PIECE, like 2 Pieces of Chicken podcast. Is really amazing. And yeah, I got a lot of dope stuff going on in my life and career. And that being said, man, we do a lot of really dope comedy shows called Comedy Pop-Up. You can follow us at Comedy Pop-Up or CPU.
Yeah, I got 2. So on June 5th, we're going to be at Malo in Silver Lake, if you guys want to go check out that show. And June 16th, we're coming back to the Rec Room in Huntington Beach. For more information on those shows, find our website, comedypopup.la.com, or follow us on Instagram at Comedy Pop-Up and the network, which is at CPU Podcast.
That's what it is. Thank you for joining us, man. We don't small talk. We appreciate you joining us. Yeah.